Alaska. The last frontier, a rugged landscape where modern Western culture has established itself, but here, nature still rules. Alaska is home to 17 of the 20 highest mountain peaks in the US, 3,000 rivers, and 3 million lakes. The terrain is so harsh that the capital city of Juneau isn't even accessible by road. If you want to travel there, you're going to need a boat or a plane. Now, a great number of the people that live here still fill their freezers with wild game and fish, dedicating a majority of their free time to harvesting pure organic protein that will sustain their family through the tough winters. We have come to a town called Soldotna, which is nestled up against the Kenai and Kasilof rivers. Locals and anglers from all over the world fish these waters at different times of year for different runs of fish. But make no mistake about it, everyone's favorite eating fish around here is the sockeye salmon. And with a creel limit of 6 per day, we plan to get a lot of them. I'm Kyle Green. I travel the globe with my best friends hunting for wild game and dynamic conservation stories. Join us on our adventure as we escape the shackles of the modern world and gain a deeper understanding of where our food comes from. Welcome to the Greenway Outdoors. This is my first time fishing in Alaska. It's been a bucket list trip for me over the years, and my cousin William has constantly fueled that fire with pictures of scenery and successful fishing trips that honestly are both equally impressive. So I'm super excited to meet up with him and his buddy Mike.
This water is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's unlike anything else in the world. It's that blue-green color.
Why is it that color?
It's a glacial silt. The glacier is going to run down, grinding up the rocks.
Okay.
And mixing particles from the rocks turns it this color.
No kidding. It's gorgeous. How far is our first spot from here?
We're going to travel about 2 miles to our first spot.
Okay.
Trouble always finds me.
The tactic most commonly used for migrating sockeye is often referred to as flossing. We rigged a fly rod with 25-pound big game line, 2-aught hooks, 6mm beads for bait, and a 3/4 ounce weight. My plan is to let out about 8 foot of line, slapping my cast down in front of me at about 12 o'clock. Keeping the line straight, I let the current walk the weight across the bottom. As fish are swimming upstream the opposite way, the hope is my line will go across the front of their face and they will strike my bead, which looks like another fish's egg to them. When they do, my line will quit drifting and feel like it's hung up.
When you're looking at a spot like where you're going to pick on the river, what makes you pick like this spot, for instance?
I'm looking for a spot where the fish are going to get pushed in towards the shoreline right here. So we have the quicker moving water out in front of us.
Yeah.
And ideally, you're looking for some kind of gravel bar or something that's going to pinpoint where the fish are going to be running.
So why are they coming here? Because they're going upstream and it's just easier?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the path of least resistance.
Yeah, exactly.
So they take this path because they're like, current's too big out there, we'll push in closer to shore and
Yeah, they're traveling
do it that way.
many, many miles to get to this point, and then they're just trying to creep up along this edge. They're going to be just to the point where you can't see them. Because you notice there's hundreds of fish cruising by, but how many have you seen swim by yet?
Not one.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing polarized glasses, so.
Polarized glasses, and you're hooking them about 3 feet in front of you.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though. I just can't believe it works,
I know.
you know?
Yeah, nobody could believe it until they hook a couple, or a couple dozen.
I chose this spot on this gravel part because it's just after that log. And my thought is that log would create a little bit of a blocker, so they might be coming around just the front of it. Might be the dumbest thing I've ever thought of, but when you get in kind of like a rhythm and you're just waiting for that disruption, it's like a beautiful rhythmic dance. Like the Macarena. I got one. This one's big.
That's a good one. It's putting up a good fight, man.
It's a big fish. Trying to keep them out of those logs. He's taking line still. I can't believe the fight. Ready, Mike? Let's try this again.
All right, let's get
See if he'll let us do it this time.
I just pissed him off for you is what I did.
Yeah.
He's a spunky one.
I can't believe the pull, man.
You like that on the fly rod, don't you?
Yes. Yes. That's a nice one.
The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve, and by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Onyx Hunt, know where you stand with the #1 hunting app. Savage Arms, where better comes standard. Boss Shot Shells, premium grade and American made. Nosler Ammunition, a step above the rest. And by Carlson's Choke Tubes, the only choke tube we've ever used.
I wasn't sure who was going to win that battle.
I was. You.
You, it's all you, man.
Landing that sockeye salmon immediately triggered that ancient reward system that I believe every human has deep down inside them. It's that feeling of raw excitement you get when you catch a fish or harvest a deer. It has almost nothing to do with the kill itself. No, it's much deeper than that. It's that realization that you succeeded at harvesting food with your own 2 hands that will feed your family. You feel thankful, proud, fulfilled. People have embraced and articulated these feelings for thousands of years. Only recently, as people have lost touch with where their food comes from, has hunting and fishing faced scrutiny. Eating food from restaurants and grocery stores has caused people to forget about the raw reality of what it takes to feed us. I don't want to forget. I want to be right there in it. And the last few years have proven the infrastructure of society is not invincible. And while I don't dwell on that, I think it's crucial to keep these skills sharp.
William,
Yeah.
do you remember when we were kids and we would go swimming at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and if it started sprinkling,
It was game over, man.
they had us pulled out of that pool so quick, in the bathtub in the bathroom with couch cushions over our head because the world was gonna end.
The lightning was gonna kill us out in the pool.
And here we are, like a couple of goons, standing in a river, catching fish in the pouring down rain. They're looking down from heaven, probably pretty irritated. Good fish though. That's one right there.
Perfect timing. Grandpa Buzzy gave you that one.
Normal fishing, you'd want your rod tip up. In this fishing, rod tip up means spits hook. You see my rod tip low? My dad would yell at me when I was a kid, but here, this is what you want. Otherwise, when that fish comes up, when you got it upward, you'll lose him.
Got him.
Thanks.
3 fish in about the last 10 minutes. Very nice. Definitely escaped the nets.
He's escaping all the nets.
Here, let me grab the
You
wire.
got a rock, you got the fish. That's awesome. It's so cool.
The last sockeye of the day was a shocking example of what these salmon can persevere through. This fish was covered in deep wounds, most likely from sea lions, which is one of their top predators. Even so, it survived commercial fishing nets, fish ladders, and miles of river with fishermen like us trying to catch them. Now, sockeye salmon spend 1 to 3 years in fresh water, then 1 to 3 years in the ocean, where they feed on plankton and krill, which gives their flesh that striking red-orange color. Sexually mature sockeye will return to the freshwater rivers, lakes, and drainages where they originally hatched from. It's hard to believe, but they recognize that home stream just by its smell. Now, the fish we're catching have only been in the river a short time because we're near the mouth of the ocean, so they're still very silver. As they make their grueling journey through the river system, they change into a vibrant red color on the outside, and their meat loses a lot of its color on the inside. It seems to be common knowledge that the sooner you catch the fish when they enter the river system, and the more vibrant their meat still is, the better tasting they are. Now, the following day, we'd be traveling a little farther upstream, and the weather looked like it would be quite a bit better than the day before. The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve, and by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Tracker Boats, fish the finest. And by Eagle Fishing, tactical fishing gear for the savvy angler. Rife International, fish for the future.
There were so many salmon on this shore just yesterday, last night, scraps, people that already have filleted them and they just left the scraps here. And there's a couple left and there's bear prints everywhere. So we'll fish here, but I'm gonna have my back on these woods. Couple bears. It's hard to believe there's a bunch of fish right in front of me right now if we haven't gotten one.
Yeah, no matter how many hundreds of times I fish this river, I feel that same way every single time.
It's like that first 45 minutes, you're like, am I just sitting here?
Pretty much, man.
Would I be better off just casting into a pool?
Yeah. Once you get that first one, though, then it's on, right?
Yeah, then you you believe it's possible.
Yeah.
I imagine taking if you could x-ray the water or have all the water go out for just a second and see where all the fish are. I was talking to Mike, he said you'd be astounded, you'd be surprised you didn't get a fish every cast with how many are here.
Yeah.
But you'll just cast over and over and not get them.
Yeah, I think yesterday 15,000 flowed into the river.
William is able to accurately state how many salmon came into the river because there is a fish sonar that keeps track of how many fish enter the river each day. Now, Alaska Department of Fish and Game monitors these numbers closely with the intent of hitting their ideal escapement numbers. Escapement is the number of salmon that do not get caught by commercial or recreational fishermen and are able to still spawn. Because there's limited habitat and food for the future juvenile fish, we have to be sure to harvest enough sockeye so that only a specific number can spawn. It's worth noting that I found out after this trip that the escapement number where we were fishing was way too high, and not enough fish were caught, which is a bit nerve-wracking, but I do know that I contributed money to help this conservation effort by purchasing my fishing license, and I had a blast catching as many salmon as I could.
Oh, it's a big sockeye.
Oh man, this is a big one. Wow.
After I caught that sockeye salmon, William caught himself another common species to these waters, a pink salmon.
Nice. Nice.
You cannot not look stupid trying to net these fish, I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
That is a pink.
See the spots on the top of it?
And they have a little bit of a hump too on the back. Now, let me tell you something right now. The people in Michigan would wait at a grocery store for hours to have the opportunity to eat this fish.
Yep.
And what do you...
In Alaska, we call that dog food. Pink salmon, no go. We got to throw her back. Yeah. It's painful for him to do this.
With this spot only producing a couple fish over a 3-hour period, we decided to float back down the river to the spot where we had so much luck yesterday. We were welcomed back by a pair of the loudest bald eagles I have ever heard. I love being around these birds just because of how beautiful they are. They like me around because of the carcasses left over after I fillet my fish.
William, I really appreciate you having me up here and showing me all this.
Oh man, I'm really glad that you were able to come up, man.
As much as I travel and see everything, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, we've talked about it for years, and you know what I think is cool is you got to see a different style of fishing, right? It's way different than fishing in the Midwest.
Got that right. Yeah, you did this in the Midwest, you'd end up in jail.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how clean the air is. Clean air and clean water.
You know, the other thing that's cool is, I mean, we're the only people out here, right? How many rivers and lakes in the lower 48 can you say that in, right?
It's hard to get away. It's a really nice fish. There you go. That is a nice one, baby.
And that fish would round out an absolutely perfect day. Now it was time to start thinking about filleting fish and cooking some meat.
Start by making a slit just behind the gill. Go down to the spine. Then you'll turn your knife and go right along the spine. That kind of starts to separate. I feel the top of the rib cage right there. Because of that, I have to slowly turn my knife outward. Now imagine, so like there's a tube of bones that comes out like this. About that section, about the size of my hand there. So you want the thick part above here, the thin part that drapes over that, and then the whole thing back here is completely boneless and pretty thick. Once I get past the rib cage, poke my knife all the way through and hold it flat so it goes right across the spine and then right out the tail. And that's gonna leave you the whole tail meat here. And now here's the ribs that we were just going over. You can kind of see them through the little bit of the thin part there. And that's absolutely perfect. So right here now, on salmon, even sockeye, the most tasty salmon on the planet Earth, this section right here is the stomach fat, okay? Now this part is a little bit more oily. It holds a lot more oil, and a lot of people don't like the flavor. They think it's too much, too fish oily. So what I like to do is leave it on, because I don't care what people think, and I actually put it in the smoker just like that. However, you got a finicky mother-in-law over, cutting off that section, feeding it to the bald eagles, might be the better option.
The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve, and by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. LEM Game Processing Equipment, Wilderness Athlete, fuel for the rugged. Sea-Doo, live the Sea-Doo life. And by Rufus Teague.
Other than the adventure itself, I'd say the best part is returning home to your home state with some of your own meat that you harvested going deep into nature. Now with these salmon fillets, I've got a couple ideas, but we have a few guests coming over today that are girls, so I'm gonna go a little bit fancier with this recipe. It's gonna be stuffed salmon rolls, which I'm pretty excited for. I've never actually made them, but I got a good idea what it's supposed to look like when it's done. All right, to kick things off, we're gonna throw some extra virgin olive oil in over medium-high heat. Once it's hot and shimmery, we're gonna add our onions. We're gonna cook them down for 1 to 2 minutes. All right, once those onions are cooked down nicely, we're going to add our garlic and our spinach. Now we're gonna cook this for an additional 2 to 4 minutes. It's pretty miraculous how quick the moisture in the spinach just gets sucked out. And once it does, everything kind of shrinks down. At first you might think you have too much in your pan, but it's gonna get down quick. It goes from like a Popeye serving of spinach to this little bit here. All right, now that this is ready, we're going to pull it off the heat, move it over here, and then we're gonna add a little bit of lemon zest and cream cheese. When it gets to kind of this spinach dip, Play-Doh type texture, kind of has that buttery look to it, that's when it's done. Remember, it's gonna cook inside the fish as well. All right, now that that's done and ready, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the meantime, we'll go over here. This fish is obviously wild caught, so you're gonna have different size fish, and the thickness of the meat differs in the different parts of the fish's body. So you're gonna have some that are thicker than others, but you're gonna make them all about 1.5 inches wide, cutting long ways. I'm gonna take the sauce and spread it evenly over all of them. And when you're done with each one of these, you're just gonna put your pan lined with parchment paper. It'll keep it from sticking, and it's good for baking. Keep everything kind of together. And these look nice. Honestly, looking at this, if I got that at a restaurant, I would be like, it looks pretty legit. You wouldn't know a schmuck like me made it. Okay, ladies, I did the best I could, so if you don't like it, at least lie to me.
What is it?
This is Sockeye Salmon from the Kasilof River. We got forks too. And it's wrapped around spinach and cream cheese. There's like some garlic in there because I always use garlic.
You cook this?
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Really?
It's good.
Not bad.
I'm not usually a huge fan of salmon.
Now, try this salmon.
Come on.
It's in a different category.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's meatier, right?
It's good.
It's more meaty than fishy. That's what I like about it.
I have spent a large portion of my life familiarizing myself with the process of hunting and fishing natural, organic, pure wild game. Sharing that food with friends and family is so incredibly special when I've developed such a respectful understanding for how that animal actually lived, and I used my own 2 hands to harvest it. Now that fish traveled thousands of miles in its lifetime, just as I did in order to cross paths with it. And that fish nourished my body, and one day, my body will return to the earth and nourish other organisms as well. There's a Bible verse that says, "What do people gain from all their hard work under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth lasts forever." All of us are really here on borrowed time. Make the best of it. Find time for loved ones, be kind, and help every single person you can. But not only that, leave the earth better than you found it. Outdoors men and women in the United States contribute over $8 million per day to conservation programs. And just like the Sockeye salmon, sustained yield practices will mean a bright future for generations to come.